All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekak Wadash, and double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Do well and salute, man. Much love to you, sincere brothers who push this truth week in and week out, man. Y'all brothers, stay strong. We almost to the kingdom, and I want to do a lesson based off this wicked ass video, man. These thoughts twerking at an anti-circumcision protest. And as you can see, they have blood stains on the front of their pants, which that's supposed to symbolize that circumcision is child genital mutilation. That's what it symbolizes to them. You know, they're fools. They're demons. You know, so-called white people. And this shows that this society is totally anti-Messiah, anti-God, man, anti-righteous, man. You know, just a society full of infidels, man, just wicked ass demons, man, so-called white people. And the niggas will follow them, because when you listen to this video and you hear the background, it sounds like a bunch of black wenches who's supposed to be the daughters of Zion, Israelite girls, rooting this demon on, man, who's twerking for the cause, man. Who's twerking for the cause, bruh. You know? And I'm going to start it off with this. She's twerking for the cause of getting rid of circumcision for boys in America. So let me read this real quick. This is Job 30:8. They were children of fools. Who? The children of Esau, Edom. They were children of fools. Yea, children of base men. Base meaning low, very low. They were viler than the earth. They were vile, man. Very vile. Let's go. As you can see, she's twerking for the cause, man. These people are stupid. Hold on, let me rewind something. You ain't even got no ass. Hold on. I want to point out something, man. As you can see, this guy with a sign that says, "I want my foreskin back," he looks to be a heathen. Only a heathen to go out and protest this like this, bro. You got to be a heathen. Usually, that's an Edomite. And you see he has a blood patch, a patch of blood right there in the front of his pants in the crotch area, man. Once again, to symbolize that circumcision is genital mutilation, which, once again, that's false, because circumcision really is the symbol of the covenant. It symbolized the covenant between the Most High and Abraham, man. You know? And I'm finna get there, but give me a second. Quick second, Salakia. Before I forget it, I'm going to get this Malachi. Salakia, man, I had to do something real quick. It says, whereas Edom saith, Malachi 1:4, whereas Edom saith, these are the Edomites, man, the children of the damn devil. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. And the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever. The border of wickedness. As you can see, this is the border of wickedness, man. This is so wicked, you can't even put words into how wicked this is, man. They twerking and protesting against what the Most High set forth for his people, man. They protesting against the covenant, the righteousness of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. So let's get into that covenant real quick. This is Genesis 17. I started 1. And I just had to start this video over, man, because somebody called my phone, but let's see. This is Genesis 17. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty Yahweh. Walk before me and be thou perfect, and I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be called Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee and their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. Read that again. And I will establish my covenant. What's a covenant? A contract, a binding contract between two parties, man. Between the Most High and Abraham, and down through Abraham's lineage, Abraham, Isaac to Jacob, man. That's who the chosen are. Abraham, Isaac to Jacob. And who are the children of Jacob? You Negroes, you Latinos, Native Americans, you Israelites. So let's go. And I will give unto thee and thy seed after thee. I'm going to go back up to 7, Salakia. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee and their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. And the Most High never said any other nation was his people. He never said he was a God to any of them. He never called them his sons. So it's beautiful. We have a covenant between us and the Most High, man. And we in the position we're in right now because we constantly broke that covenant, that contract, that agreement. So let's go. And I will give unto thee and thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And who was the land of Canaan given to? Jacob, the Israelites, man. So let's go. And God said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore thou and thy seed after thee, and in their generations. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you, and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall you be circumcised. Hold on. Here go the covenant. This is my covenant, my contract, which ye shall keep between me and you, and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. That's law. That's law. That's a part of the contract. That's part of the agreement. We shall be circumcised. And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. I told you it's a token, a symbol, a sign between the Israelites and the Most High, man. And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in their generations. He that is born in the house or bought with money of any strangers, which is not of thy seed, of thy people, got to be circumcised too. And then he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generations. He that is born in the house or bought with money or of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. He that is born in thy house and he that is bought with thy money must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man child whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He had broken my covenant. And Yahweh said unto Abraham, as for Sarai, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be called. Shall she be called. So if you amongst the Israelites, whether you be a bondman, a bondwoman, it's like a bondman, because you can't circumcise a woman, even though the heathens do that wicked shit. They cut the foreskins of the I don't want to be too vulgar. The coochie lips of these different nations practice that, man. On the daughters of that nation, on the women of their nation, man. But if you a heathen and you come amongst Israel, you a bondman or whatever, guess what? You got to be circumcised too. And these other heathens who getting circumcised today, like you got a lot of Edomites in America being circumcised. They thinking they Christians or whatever, but let them go ahead and get circumcised. It means nothing really until they get in the kingdom, when they got to follow our laws, the law of the Israelites. The law of the Israelites, man. Because the covenant went between Esau and the Most High. It went between Ishmael and the Most High. It was between Abraham down to Isaac down to Jacob, man. Matter of fact, let me get a quick precept. Because, hey, when we get y'all ass in slavery under Yahweh Shah HaMashiach and King David and the elect, man, guess what? Y'all going to have to keep our laws. Y'all going to have to keep the laws, which I just read one of the laws, circumcision. Your children gonna have to be circumcised, man. You know, or your ass get cut off. By cut off, I mean put to death. This is Leviticus 26:42. Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. I'm going to read it again. Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. It didn't say Esau, it didn't say Ishmael, it didn't say Ham, it didn't say Japhet, or none of them other nations, man. You know? It said Jacob, Isaac, Abraham. Jacob's name was changed to Israel, man. So the Israelites today. Let's see, where we at? Okay, back to this. And Yahweh said unto Abraham, no, I just read that part, verse 16. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? And Abraham said unto Yahweh, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. And Yahweh said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son, and indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac. Salakia. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. And he left off talking with him, and Yahweh went up from Abraham, and Abraham took Ishmael, his son, and all that were born in his house, and that were brought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin, in the selfsame day as Yahweh said unto him. Let's see. Well, I'm going to jump to something real quick, because right now, if you're an Israelite, man, being circumcised, keeping that law ain't going to get you saved. You know, we under grace, but you should get circumcised, you know, because that is a law of Yahweh B'Shem Shah. You know, you should get circumcised. But once again, that's not going to save you. That faith is going to save you, man. Faith in works. But faith first. That's what's going to save you, man. And it goes into that in the New Testament, but I ain't going to really get that. I'm going to get a little bit of this Galatians real quick. Galatians 3. And I'm going to end it off on this. 3 and find it real quick. Galatians 3 and 16. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He said, not into seeds, plural, as of many, but as of one, into thy seed, which is anointed. Exactly. It said, now to Abraham and his seed, who? Isaac. Abraham and Isaac. Then it went on down to Jacob. It said, Abraham and his seed. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He said, not into seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is anointed. So that's a cold cut to you Ishmaelites running around with that Islam garbage talking about Ishmael was saved. I mean, Ishmael was, the covenant was through Ishmael. Cold cut right there. And let me see real quick. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second, Slakia. Okay, this is Galatians 4 and 22. For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondmaid, the other by a free woman. Who was the one by the free woman? Isaac. Who was the one by the bondmaid? Ishmael. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by promise. By promise. That's Isaac. Which things are an allegory, for these are the two covenants, the one from the Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is Agar. For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answer to Jerusalem, which now is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. For it is written, Rejoice thou, barren, that bearest not. Break forth and cry thou that travailest not, for the desolation had many more children than she which had an husband. Now we, brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of promise. But as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the spirit, even so it is now. Nevertheless, what saith the scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free. You know, cold cut, it spoke for itself. So, hey, circumcision is important, man. You know, in the land of the circus known as America is not. You can do what you want to do in America, but y'all call yourself a Christian nation, so. And calling the Bible the law of the land, as Ronald Reagan said in the 80s, but you can do whatever you want here. That's as long as it's wicked, you know. So, Lord willing, you be edified. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Shah, Bashem Rikakwadash. Shalom to the hopefully led Kwam Yasha Allah, a Bible ball.